Yeah, we'll have our second session about tactical surprises. I would like to show you a few different situations where such surprises can pop up. I'll bring up my first example, which is very pretty finish in this game with the white pieces, Grandmaster from Azerbaijan, Mamedov, and playing black is Petkov. Let's see here if we can solve this together. I'll give you only 1 minute 30 for you to find the surprising way in which white was able to win this game. All right? So, white to play and win, I'll give you 1 minute 30 seconds. Remember, there is always a surprising move at some point. Okay? Take your time, Hacker Guru. That's very fast. Take your time. Okay, Chess Samurai, you got it in only 7 seconds. Nice. That's fast thinking. Guinea Pig, you got it also. For everyone else, please remember today's topic, tactical surprises. There will be a tactical surprise at some moment, not necessarily at move 1. It can be also at move 2, move 3, and so on. All right, Wood Chess and Troy Boy, you got it also. This is a nice warm-up just to get you on the right track. Okay, some people are playing in the other way around. If you give me check that way, I'll simply put my king on h7, I think. Yeah, okay, we have more winners. Small Crab, Eric, Classy Knight moves. Actually, Classy Knight move, we could say that your name is related to the solution here, right? That's a really classy knight move in this little example. All right, what else? Yeah, if you take on c7, that doesn't seem to work. If you give check on g8, I don't follow HDI check, I'll just take it. All right, what else? Yeah, I understand, Aditya and Little Grandmaster. Maybe your solution is okay also, but I think I can go back with the knight, right? If you play like that, with the king, sorry, I'll go back with the king. Okay, let's listen to Chess Samurai. You're on, Chess Samurai. How did the Grandmaster win this game in beautiful fashion?
So we're gonna go knight f5 check, obviously, first. Otherwise,
Right.
if we trade rooks, obviously, I mean, it's around equal. So
Yeah, it should be around equal. I think the same.
So I mean, if king g6, obviously knight h4 and then bishop c1. So
Exactly. We have, yeah, everybody understands there is some situation also with this knight being overloaded. So you
yeah.
can.
So if king g5, then
Sorry, I just wanted to show this to everybody. Okay, sorry. Please go ahead, Chess Samurai. I'll play king g5 instead. Yeah.
so here we still have the same idea of knight h4 because after rook d7, bishop c1, and it's checkmate.
Aha, that's right. It's a very artistic mate, I would say. And it's my guess that Grandmaster like Mamedov in this case, he has actually been doing some chess studies in his chess career. It's a very useful technique if you want to improve in finding solutions like this one, knight h4. If you solve endgame studies, for example, it will help you a lot. Yeah, congratulations, Ryo. I saw that you got.
I decided to message everyone. Okay.
7 points in that tournament. That's really impressive. You got the IM norm, right?
I didn't message it.
So great, Ryo. I hope you can get the remaining norms very soon. How many norms do you have, by the way? All right, we lost one. Okay, nice, Ryo. Yeah, very soon, international master. So let's see what Ryo found here. Let's look at this in slow motion. So here we are. We can see that we have 3 pieces which are trying to give mate, somehow produce a mate. And that's the right way to go. Knight f5 first, and the difficult move here, knight h4. To me, it looks like an endgame study, but it's actually a real game between Mamedov and Petkov. So no way in which black can defend against bishop c1. Sorry. Please notice also that f5 in order to play f4 would run into bishop e7. You can't do this in any other way, I think. If you give check first, like somebody was saying, right, in the chat. Amazon, if you play bishop c1 check, I guess I'll play king g7, and I'm not sure you can mate me here, can you? I think I'm alive still, right? I think I'm alive, even though I'm stepping on the 7th rank. Nothing bad is going to happen to me, right? If you give me check, I can probably put my king on g8, maybe. Is that so? Did I make a mistake? Guys, maybe I put the king on the wrong square, right? I should probably put my king here instead. Yeah, we shouldn't subestimate Amazin's idea. Yeah, so king h7 is better, probably. Is that so? It still seems like white can pick up a pawn, right? If we play 95 check, we might pick up a pawn in this way. But yeah, it's not relevant, right? If we could mate in the other variation, this is not really relevant. Who knows? Maybe black can fight on in this endgame. Maybe they still have chances for a draw here due to the reduced material or whatever. So pretty sure the best way to go is the way that Ryo explained: knight f5 check. Any other move is not making sense here. Yeah, nothing really else to discuss here, right? This is our key move, knight h4, with the inevitable threat of bishop c1. All right, let's get to our next example.
Hey, Johan, can you hear me?
Yeah, hi, Greg. How are you?
Some people signed up for the class. I just want to make sure they can get in.
Yeah, you know, nowadays in this great Chessable interface, when there are new users, there appears a message, and I just let them in.
Okay.
It seems there is some new function here. I'm doing that.
Yeah, I see one of the new people is in the class.
Right.
I don't see the other one, but hopefully.
Oh, but maybe they didn't turn up then.
Maybe. All right. Unless if somebody doesn't complain to me, I'll assume everything's fine.
All right. Yeah. Okay, I'll be careful also who I'm letting in. But so far, I think there have not been any problems of any kind. So.
Cool.
All right. Let's have a look at our next example. Again, it's about kings in an exposed place. You're playing with the white pieces here. You can see that both kings actually are in danger. You have to play really well in order to win this game with white. So your mission here is to play with white and finish off black, which would be the best variation. Okay, I'll make this one the main line then. All right. Yeah, probably this one. All right. How much time? Yeah, I'll give you 130 because I know you're very strong in tactics. Sorry. So 130 should be enough for you. Please remember there is a surprising move, a tactical surprise at some point. Okay? Look for that tactical surprise. I'm sorry, Guinea Pig. If you play like that, I'll use the Brave King idea. Maybe you saw Magnus Carlsen today. He used this nice idea of moving over the king to the opposite flank or something like that, king f1. I'm sorry, Amazon. I'll use that idea with black here. I'll use my king to escape from your mating attack, okay? So please look carefully. There is a difficult move in this whole sequence. Okay, Chess Samurai, you got it again. Let's hope that somebody else will also find it. I'm sorry, Santos Aditya HDI Chess. Like I'm saying, my king, Hacker Guru, my king will escape in that variation. All right, Sabham, the king will escape. I'm very sorry. Eric, I don't know, where is your next check? Okay, Troy Boy, we have second winner here. Pikachu, third winner. So this was slightly more difficult. Of course, it's easier when you know that there will be a spectacular move on the way, right? But that's the idea, that you will somehow be stimulated to find these spectacular moves, surprising moves. All right, nice work. Let's listen to Troy Boy on this one. Okay, Troy Boy, please go ahead. How do you win with white here? Okay, rook check, and here comes the difficult move. Rook h4, fantastic move. I think that if you haven't done chess studies, it's difficult to find such a move, especially difficult to move our pieces in the air, like in this case, rook h4. Actually, in our previous example, also the h4 square was used, but that time by the knight. Anyway, let's have a look at the variations. I'll take first with a queen. You can see also, of course, the threat here, queen d8. No, queen d8, nice threat. The king cannot escape. So let's say take first with a queen. All right, so simple deflection idea here. The queen is deflected from the king is deflected from the defense of the queen, so white wins. All right, and if I take with the king instead, yeah, this move is important. Right, that's correct, Troy boy. This is also difficult. Sometimes we give so many checks, but we forget that sometimes we can also play a quiet move like this one. And in this case, as you can see, we have several threats here, most importantly, mate in 1. But also if black tries to prevent this threat by, let's say, queen f4, you can see now we can move the g-pawn, so we win the game here. So impressive variation in this game between Phelan with white and Cafola playing black. This is the only way in which we can win, I think. Many people here wanted to play queen d8. I'm very sorry, but like we were discussing, the brave king is in action here, king f4. And the king is about to escape. And I think actually it's white who is in some difficulties here. Please don't forget that I have a very strong passed pawn also. Oh, is that a problem with the audio, Titan Chess? Anyone has a problem with audio, please let me know. Also, sometimes on our local equipment, we can try to increase the volume. Now black is better, now white is better. I don't follow strategic simmer. You mean that white is better here? Oh, rook h4. Yeah, rook h4, I guess king a3, right? Oh, if you say so, if you say white is better, I'll trust you, but queen takes d4. All right, and if I play king d2, no issues with this pawn? I'm not 100% sure. Yeah, now it's a crazy position here. Right, not so clear, not so clear. Probably black has counter chances here, right? Interesting how we can use our opponent's pawn as a shelter for our king. So anyway, that's the solution here. Rook takes h7 and a very surprising move, rook h4. Also h4, somebody said h4. I'm afraid it's the same story here. I can just move in with the king. King f4. If you take on g6, I guess I can just continue to run, right, with the king. Probably this is not something that white would like. There are still some issues here for white to solve, if I'm not mistaken. The king is safer on e3 than it was on h5, I would say. So that's the bottom line here. Don't forget about such pretty moves like rook h4. Sometimes they can actually work. We have the mating threat of queen d8. There is also some threat like rook g4 and queen h8, I think. So yeah, that's it. Great work by Chess Samurai, Troyboy, and Pikachu, the 3 winners on this one. Let's have a look at another example from the endgame. Here we have a famous grandmaster with white pieces, Krasenkov, very strong player. I was fortunate to play with him a few times. I learned a lot from those games. And here we can see Krasenkov in an endgame, but not just any kind of endgame. It's a very violent endgame. As you can see, the black king is in danger, but also black has these passed pawns. So let's see if you can find a way in which Grandmaster Krasenkov in this game against Svirts, how did he continue here with the white pieces? All right, you'll have to find the total number of, I think, like 8 moves or something. Yeah, this is a little longer, but it's very beautiful. We will have a few unexpected moves on the way here. Should I ask you for the whole? Yeah, I think I'll ask you for the whole variation. It's very long, but it's very pretty. So yeah, that's it. I'll give you 2 minutes for this mission, okay? 2 minutes. Let's see if you can see how Grandmaster Krasenkov managed to win this game despite apparent difficulty here, stopping the black pawns and so on. Okay, Smiling Floor and Quacky. I think my bishop can handle that fast pawn, right? And my king will handle the other passed pawn. So I don't think that's the right way to go. Eric, you got the first move, but you have to look a little further on your second move. I think black can hold that endgame, even if you get my h7 7 pawn, I think I can make a draw in that endgame. Okay, Amazon, you were very close. Yeah, you're very extremely close. Nice. Subham, in a way, you got the right solution, but I'm afraid the move order is not ideal. Okay, so we have 2 winners here. Strategic Simmer and Chess Samurai. You got it. That's fine, of course, what you say. Yeah, that's perfectly fine. So 2 winners. Greg Hadi is the 3rd winner. It's great to see Greg in action, an expert on solving tactical challenges like this. So far, we have 3 winners here. Strategic Simmer was 1st, Chess Samurai 2nd, and Greg Shahadi is number 3. L008, number 4. Aha, nice. And imagine that Grandmaster Krasenkov, he found this in the game. Classic knight moves. You got it also. We have 5 winners so far. Great work. And a lot of people were close also. I can see many good suggestions here. All right. So let's listen to Strategic Simmer. You were the fastest one. Please go ahead. You're playing with the white pieces here. Okay. So d6, as we can see, white is creating some kind of mating net. This is a good pattern recognition. If you have a pawn and the bishop and you place it next to each other, evidently you're taking away a lot of squares, right? But if we play bishop e6 straight away, sorry, Strategic Simmer, just for everybody to understand, if we play like this, we don't threaten mate, right? Because the bishop can cover. So that's why we have to play like Strategic Simmer is saying. We should give this intermediate check. And now the time is right to play bishop e6. All right, please go ahead, Strategic Simmer. Now we have a mating threat, black and queen here. However, they don't have a second check. I must say this looks like a study. It's not, but it looks like a study. You would say if it wasn't for the e5 pawn, black would win at this stage. But okay, it's there. So black must prevent the mate somehow. They will have to play here the move king e8. And here we have the surprising move. That's our surprise, tactical surprise, rook g7. Incredibly enough, white is playing with a lot of material down, but we have a very nice threat here. Black has no real way of defending. In the game they took and they brought in the queen to defend. And after that, please go ahead, Strategic Simmer. Right. So this is fine. And here we have different ways to win. That's a pretty way to win. I think in the game he played here the move d7, but it's, of course, the same thing. We win the queen in any case. So, nice little combination. No, nice combination. Very surprising move, rook g7. Some people wanted to play it earlier, no? We can, of course, check very quickly the alternative. Some people are saying rook takes, but I don't think this wins because this bishop is controlling that pawn, the king is taking care of that pawn, and after all, I have my pass pawn also. So, not convincing. What else did you say here? d6, a2. Some people were saying rook g7 on move 2, but this cannot be the same thing, right? I can take it, and I mean, in the very worst case, if I don't manage to see anything else, I can probably just take it. But okay, you don't have a threat, do you? So I guess I could even play e4 here, now, playing for a win. Correct me if I'm wrong. I can't see the mate here. So ignore play e4. Yeah, exactly. Bishop takes a2. Yeah, that's also... if you play bishop takes a2 here, some people were saying this, I think. And I guess the idea was to go back with the rook. But I don't think you will win this because, after all, I can set up a fortress in the worst case, I think. If you take the pawn, I'll take on d6. I don't think you will win this. I can put my knight on f7 maybe. Or who will win this? I don't know. Maybe black is better here. So, Titan Chess, you want to say something after d6? All ears. What did you say? d6, a2? Any other suggestion, or should we move forward? Oh, if king was on h2 at start, I think the other variation with immediate... Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, because you're given check here, right? But the way things are, we have to play in this way. Everybody understand this check is very important to create a mating net so that once they move the king, moving the king that way, it's not good either, right? It's the same thing probably. Yeah, it probably is the same thing. They have to play this anyway. And if we play king f8, we have the same idea. So we win a tempo basically by playing in this way, forcing them to put the king on e8. And here we have the star move of the game, of course, the star move. Very, very beautiful move. Rook g7, so as to give mate on g8. Yeah, extremely pretty. Aha, because no check. All right, guys, let's see if we can continue. We're always looking at sacrifices, no? Always sacrifices appear in the sense of surprising moves, and temporary sacrifices especially. I wanted to show you something which was played just a few days ago at this university championship in the United States. Maybe you followed this event. I thought it was very interesting. So here we have a game with white pieces, Cuban Grandmaster Bruson and playing black Dragon from Poland. So Bruson has just played here the move Rook f5. As we can see here, the knight is in danger, and only a very surprising defense will let black save themselves. So from here on, let's have a look at a few cases where we can use tactical surprises in our defensive play, okay? Black to play and save themselves by, I would say, a surprising defense. All right, your move. Let's see if you can find the way in which the Polish Grandmaster managed to keep everything under control and actually win the game here. All right, here we go. Black to play and defend successfully. There are two solutions, by the way. So one of them will be prompted as wrong by Chessable, but I'll let you know if you choose it. Two possible solutions here. I'm sorry, Adi Chess and Chess Samurai. I don't think that's a promising endgame. I don't think that will work. And as for Santos, I guess I'll just take that knight, right? I'll take the knight. Your pawn is not going anywhere, right? Your passed pawn. Oh, so this was a difficult one. Yeah, probably. I get the point. D4, knight f6, bishop g5. Attacking my bishop, but I'll take on e5 with the rook, right? I'll take with the rook and I'll defend my... Okay, smiling floor also. I'll take on e5 and I defend my bishop. So I don't think that works. Yeah, most people want to play knight f3. Okay, L008, Troy Boy and Classy Knight moves. Good news for you. You have found the alternative solution. Chessable will tell you that it's wrong, but it's actually perfectly fine. So good for you. And the rest of students didn't find the solution. Let's have a look at what L008 has to say about this. Okay, L, please go ahead. How do you defend with black here? All right, rook d8. That's a weird move. Why on earth are we moving that rook when this knight is hanging? Well, let's see what L008 has in mind. If I take with the bishop, of course, I'm hanging the other bishop, right? You just pick up the other bishop. That's right. On the other hand, if I take it this way, what will happen? Right. So again, I want to avoid a check on c5. But as you can see, unfortunately, now I'm losing the other bishop. Aha. Oh, you mouse slipped rook e8. I see, Tori Chess. Yeah, rook e8, it's not a good move, of course, but rook d8 certainly is. So that's the right solution. We play rook d8 here. We put the rook on d5 if white plays something else. Actually, in the game, Grandmaster Dragon played it in a different way, which I think I like more, actually. But yours is fine, of course. Yours is fine. But I like the alternative solution. So anyone, now that we know about this solution, anyone, can you imagine what they played in the game? Yeah, knight f3, don't play it, don't play it, please. Here we have the lifeline. No, white is able to take because they're offering the exchange. No, they didn't play queen a5. Queen a5 is not a good idea. White will just take on e5, I guess. Somebody said a6, but in that case, I'll play bishop a4, and I can put my bishop on b3 if you play b5. This doesn't work either. No, after knight. Queen a5 after... Oh, I see. Knight takes, rook takes. Chess Samurai says queen a5 here. All right, but if I go back, what do you have here? A6. Oh, I understand. Maybe I have some intermediate move like b4. Is that possible? Also, please notice that I'm about to attack you, right? I can probably go for an attack at some point also, but not now. I understand. I understand. I'll probably play b4 instead, right? Not to make things too complex. And I think white is in complete control here. Actually, these rooks are very passive, and yeah, you can take this pawn, but I think I can play almost any move here. I mean, I don't, as usual, I don't plug in any engine. I like to think by myself, but I don't know. Could I play bishop d7 maybe? Looks to me that I'm completely winning. Oh, rook takes d5 says strategic simmer. Could you play that really? I couldn't make that work. If I take back, you're mating me here. Oh, queen check, you mean? Or how? How do you? I don't follow. Yeah. Everybody understands, right? This is not working for white. Queen h3, and if I play king g6, what do you have planned? Strategic simmer. I don't follow. Yeah, I don't think this works. Bishop e2, okay. Yeah, but it's getting more complex than necessary. g4, sacrifices in the defense. Maybe I can save this, no? Maybe. Yeah, you're right, L008, you're right. Yeah, this is very complex. Yeah, Troy, this is not, you can't mate me like that. Exactly, the queen is pinned. So, yeah, strategic simmer, you got it. In the game, Dragon instead played the move rook c8, which I think it's cleaner because in this way also you enable the move knight f3 now that the rook defends the queen. So that's what happened in the game. Here, I think white played in the game. What did I play in the game? Do I have? I don't even think I have the game. Do I have the game continuation here? Yeah, he played queen h3 in the game, Brusson, because he knew that. He saw, of course, that if it takes, again, it's the same story. No, very sneaky little tactic. No, very nice topic. You could say here also the undefended piece, right? Speaking in simple tactical terms, pieces which are undefended are prone to tactical motives. So in the game, he played instead the move queen h3, and after g4, queen h5, knight f3, black had a decisive advantage in this game. So yeah, interesting solution, no? Very discreet way of defending. We let them take, making sure that we can pick up one of the bishops in the end by either the rook d8 or rook c8. Both moves are fine. No, black won this game. Black won this game. It was an important game, I think, in this university competition. I think it was first board in a very important match or something like that. All right. Let me show you another case. I usually don't bring up so many of my own games, but this game appeared in a blitz game the other day against a grandmaster from India. I wanted to show you this example because I thought it was very interesting. Yes, I'm playing with white pieces against Indian grandmaster Inyan, I think. Strong player. And at this point, we're playing with the black pieces. I had sacrificed a whole rook in order to get to this attacking position. As you can see, I have some things going on the king side, right? Black's king is in huge danger. You can spot my funny mating threat here, by the way. If it's white to play, white could give mate in 2 moves. Anyone? You can just write in the chat. White to mate in 2 moves. Exactly. We give g8 knight. So they have to take with the rook and we play queen f7. All right, this is just one funny variation. You can probably win in other ways also. But it's black to play. So your mission here is simply to save black. Yeah, there will be some surprising move along the way, of course. So try to find a way out for black. I think there is only one way, so you have to be really precise in order to save the Indian grandmaster at this point of the game. All right, we'll bring up the variation. Let's see if I can get this right. All right, I think that's probably enough. Yeah, all right, so I'll give you 2 minutes. Surprising variation. Try to save black here. The art of defense. It was very difficult in the blitz game, of course, to save himself here. But for a longer game, I think it should be possible. All right, little grandmaster, you were very close. If you play like that, yeah, that won't work, Santos Amazin Smiling Throne. I'll take on 8. I give check and I take on b4, I think, if you play like that. Little Grandmaster, your solution. Oh, what happened? Little Grandmaster, where are you? I think I give check on h6, I take on f8, and I pick up the extra piece on g5. Right, Little Grandmaster? So, what else? Yeah, d4, knight f6, bishop g5, and Tori chess. I'm very sorry, but that's what my opponent played in the game. And that was not a good idea. So, you're mated if you play like that. HTI chess, L008, and chess samurai. If you play like that, I think I just take, and I'm not sure how you defend after that. I'll just take on h1, right? Yeah, tricky tactic this time. Very tricky. They always say it's more difficult to defend than to attack. It's always more difficult, for most people at least. Okay, Aditya, your first move was great, but your second move, I think I will have a very strong attack. I give you mate, right? Queen h6 and queen e6. It's mate, Aditya, I'm afraid. Okay, Adi chess, you got it. Your last move is not precise, but you would find something better on the way. So hats off to Adi chess and Titan chess. Okay, you got it, the whole solution. Okay, so we have two winners here, Adi chess and Titan chess. So yeah, if you play, queen f6. Yeah, we'll speak about that. Titan chess, please go ahead. Show us what you found here. Amazing defensive solution by black. Knight f3. This move is important because we want to deflect the white knight from the attack. Please notice that if we take, black can just take back, and there is no attack going on anymore, if I'm not mistaken. Or what do you think, Titan chess? We just take it, right? Black is okay here. If they take, we take back, and the attack is basically gone here. Somehow, white doesn't have so many attacking pieces anymore. So more critical, of course, king takes h1 to keep all the threats. And here we must be very, very careful. Exactly. That's the surprising move. The most natural move, of course, would be to take on g5. However, in that case, somebody said this, no? We had this proposed by some people. Little Grandmaster and Hacker Guru. Yeah, I'm not completely sure, but I think I give check and I take, and this knight falls off, something like that. So it should be piece up here for white. So, okay, sorry, please go ahead, Titan chess. Rook h8, that's a really surprising move, but we do anything possible to swap off the white queen. All right, so white can, of course, take on h8, and after queen takes, believe it or not, but material is now about to be reestablished here. If I just take on h8, you will pick up the piece in the end, and you will actually be a piece up here, right? So, no, sorry, a pawn up, I mean, a pawn up. However, I can play instead, I'm trying to remember now, what did we play in the main variation? Yeah, I'll quiz it again. I'm trying to understand myself, how did the variation continue? I got confused here. What did we play last time? We played d takes h8, really? Why did the queen stay on the board? Oh, yeah, I know why. Because I played king g2, right? That's a tricky move. King g2, tricky move, because now if you take on h7, we'll take back and we win a knight. So this is not possible for black. And if you take on d2, I think there is another problem here, right? You play something like queen f7 maybe, and you bring in the rook. If I'm not mistaken, this is nasty for black, right? Rook h5 is coming up. Yeah, this is not advisable for black. So we have to play like Titan chess is saying. We have to take on g5 instead. Right. Now white, they don't have so much else to do. They would take so that they can give a few more checks. And here I think you said king g6. Somebody said king g6 here, right? It was Adi chess. Yeah, so if you play, exactly, queen f6. If you play king g6, I'm afraid that white will give check. You cannot put the queen on f6, and we have the same story again. We bring the rook to the attack, and I think white should win here, right? We have some nasty threats coming up. So, yeah, that's why it's so important to play here the move queen f6, right? So yeah, white can take on b4, but it's still, I would say, more or less equal disposition. Black's king is not so exposed anymore. I mean, they can also give check and so on. So that was a difficult one. That was a difficult one. Let's see if we can find out together what happened with the other moves here. So in the game, my opponent had a bad moment. He played rook h8, and as you can see here, I was able to mate. That's why it's important to give this check on f3 to deflect the white knight from the attack. So that's why we should play knight f3. If you play knight e2, I'll play king takes h1. I think I keep all my threats. You cannot take on d2, I guess, due to queen h6. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think something will fall off here. Queen a6 maybe, and I can take on f8 next turn, right? So that's not possible. I looked at rook h8 immediately. Yeah, exactly. It's a pin. Exactly. I understand what you mean, Titan Chess. If you play rook h8 straight away, you're not pinning the king. I mean the queen. That's why also you would like the king to be on h1, exactly, so that this is actually a pin. What else should we look at here? So rook g8. Rook g8, some people were saying, yeah, this is the normal defense, However, in this case, I think white can give check so as to pick up this pawn, and after king d7, I think the smartest move here is just to take on h1. If I'm not mistaken, this is a huge advantage for white. After all, the king is in danger. I'm threatening to play, I guess, queen d5. If e4, probably rook d1. I'm not convinced that black can save this. White has a lot of activity, right? Yeah, white is completely winning. I think so. Rook g8 loses to bishop takes b4, says Amazon. Oh, you mean you will play this straight away? All right, maybe you're right. Maybe that's also possible. I don't know. Sure, that's another possibility. I don't know if I have knight f3 or could I take on? Could I take here, or this is not working? I'm not convinced, Amazon. What if queen d6, queen f8? Oh, okay. We have many people talking at the same time. It's not so easy for me to. Amazon is saying something. I don't. Please, Amazon, go ahead. What would you like to explain here? Here you mean queen h6 and bishop takes b4. That's what I was saying, right? Oh, I understand. Queen d6, you mean? Yeah, definitely. This should also win, right? Or you want to give check on f8, you mean? Yeah, that's a funny option also. Yeah, everything seems to be winning in this position. So safe to say, black is in huge trouble, and the only sequence here to make a draw is knight f3. Either way, we deflect the king, or like our winner Titan Chess says, we force the king to h1 so that we can pin the queen. I think bottom line here, when you're up material but faced with a strong attack, don't be afraid to give up material like we did in this case. Somebody said that we should request this one. If you like, we can of course request it. Yeah, let's do that for educative purposes. So everybody, you have to do this again. I mean, only 2 students, I think, got it right. So the rest of you will have to try to remember and establish how should we make a draw here. I will only give you 1 minute for this, I think, or even less. Yeah, 1 minute should be okay, right? Okay, here we go. Yeah, if you already know it, no problem. You just repeat it. That's how Chessable learning works. Learn by repeating. In that way, we quickly pick up new ideas and so on. All right. Okay, so we have so many winners. Not surprisingly, everybody got it right. Great. Great work. Yeah, some people made the wrong choice on the way, but they were not many. Most of you got it right. Very hard to see this, of course, in a blitz game. And I would say it's even difficult to see in a classical game. But once you have this notion of giving away material in the defense, it will be simpler to see this. So, yeah, I'll just play out. Or we can ask classy knight moves. All right, classy knight moves. You can play out the solution, okay? How does it go? Please go ahead, classy knight moves. Or we don't have contact with the classy knight moves, I think. So I'll ask somebody else. Sabham, you can do it, please. Please play out the solution. All right. Now the queen is pinned. There is a tricky move here with white. You can see that white has this funny move, king g2. You have 3 captures, but only that capture will do the trick. We have to eliminate that dangerous knight. And our last little detail, play queen f6 so that we don't let them play rook h1 with tempo. And here, black should be okay. All right, let's move on. Let me show you something which was played recently in an open tournament in Italy, just a few weeks ago. There was a very interesting game in the last round with, Vergani, exactly. With the white pieces in this game, we have Grandmaster Korobov from Ukraine, and playing black is Lagarde from France. So you can see in this position that we have opposite color bishops. Somebody very clever said that opposite color bishops usually favor the side which is attacking, or more specifically, the presence of opposite color bishops is very useful in an attacking context, simply because the opponent has difficulties, like in this case, defending the dark squares. So that's what we have here. White has a lot of attacking chances, but black is fighting for their life to defend this position. So this game was a draw because Grandmaster Korobov had a bad moment here, and he played at this point the move King H2. All right, guys, don't put anything in the chat, okay? Don't put anything in the chat. Don't write in the chat. I just want you to play out the solution. I'll give you just 1 minute to see your reflexes here. I think the French Grandmaster became very happy when he saw that move on the board. King H2 looks very clever to safeguard the king, but it's actually a huge mistake. All right, Wu Chess, you're the first winner here. Pikachu, second winner. L008, Kwoki, Santos, RZ 2018. You found it. The French Grandmaster also found it, and in this way he managed to save the draw from this difficult position. Speaking about surprising moves in the defense, how did black save this difficult position? I don't understand the move rook f5, guys. I don't understand this. What if I just take the bishop? What are you planning to do then? I don't understand it. Okay, Means Vangs, Amazin, d4, knight f6, bishop g5, Eric, Hacker Guru, you all got it. That's great defensive reflexes. I don't know how much time did I have on the clock, but safe to say this was a very opportune move from black. So, Vuches, you're the fastest one. How did Lagarde save this game with black? What did black play after king h2?
Black played queen g3 check.
Right, please go ahead. You can play out the moves.
So after king takes g3, there's rook d3, checking the king and attacking the queen.
Exactly. So
black is
now
on.
Black is up a pawn, and the mate is not so relevant anymore. It's hard for white to give mate here, right? Rook takes, and I guess you can just put your bishop somewhere, and you're more or less okay here. Rook e8 and rook f8, something like that was the course of the game. So yeah, you're right. Thanks, Vuches. King h2 looks very clever from white's perspective. However, there is the move queen g3, and white had to. This doesn't make any difference, right, Vuches? If I play king h1, it's the same story, I suppose, right? I didn't look at this actually, but I suppose it's the same thing. If we just take and, or anyone can see something else. Yeah, don't take that pawn. Yeah, that's a bad idea. Take the other pawn. I think that's the way to play it. Unless you can play some crazy move like rook d1, but I don't think so. Yeah, this doesn't. No, it's not strong, right? I'll give check and I'll take, and I think white should be better here, right? Titan chess. What do you think? Or you mean black is fine? Oh, maybe you're right. Yeah, maybe black is fine. Oh, bishop d3. Okay. I thought maybe you wanted to push e3. All right, bishop d3 then. Yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe you're right in that black is doing fine here. They're very active. Yeah, maybe you're right. In this position, white doesn't have a lot of scope for that. Black is winning, says Titan chess. All right. Yeah, the rooks are bad attackers, at least at this point of the game. Okay, I agree with you. So yeah, that's not a good decision from white then to play king h1. So you could even play rook d1. All right, I agree. Now let's go back to this position. Now let's go back. Let's see if we can understand why did white play king h2. I mean, I like the looks of this move. It's very clever to step out of potential dangers on the first rank. It's just very unfortunate that black had this pretty simplifying move to make a draw. All right, so anyone, what do you think white should play here? Maybe I should make this a quiz also. Yeah, I think I'll quiz you on this one. You know one thing at least, don't play king h2, all right? There are at least two good ways to play here. So I'll quiz you for both of them. If you just pick one of them, that's enough. If you just pick one of them. So two ways in which you can get a huge advantage here with white. I'll quiz you for one of them. The one that I think is the simplest one. Okay? Well, still not that simple, but that's it. Yeah, let's see how. Oh, it's a very long variation. Anyway, we'll do it in 2 minutes, okay? So, oh, that's a surprising move. Speaking about tactical surprises, why do you put the bishop there? I don't follow. What is the threat after you put the bishop there? It's a mystery to me. That's where I would like to put my queen, not the bishop, but okay. You might have some smart idea there. All right, let's see what. Rook f1, interesting move. Yeah, we'll speak about that. Yeah, a lot of options here, a lot of different ideas. There are some pitfalls also. Some pitfalls. I think I'll write down the moves that you're suggesting here. So rook b1, queen e8, queen takes e4. What else? Takes e4. King h1. Interesting. Wow, so many candidate moves. Incredible. All right. I'm afraid nobody suggests one of the moves that I wanted you to play. But okay, we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. Yeah, this is very difficult. Let's go one by one. Some moves you must absolutely not play here, right? Queen takes e4 is one of them. That's a good explanation why Korobov played king h2. Because what would black play here, guys? Exactly. So here we have a first typical tactical idea. We're deflecting the rook from the defense of the queen. As you can see here, black will win material one way or another, for example, in this way, right? So queen takes e4 is forbidden. We cannot play that. Rook takes... sorry, which was the other variation? Rook takes e4 is also a bad idea. Some people were saying this, but we have another tactical surprise coming up here. What would black play? Funny looking move. Again, please notice that exactly L08. Queen d1 is a funny move because if white takes, well, in that case, they're hanging the queen. And if they play something like king h2, I think we just take on c1 and we're not mated here as far as I can see. Right? So yeah, don't copy and paste. Let's see from the beginning. So these moves were easy to refute. Now, some people are saying here the move rook b1. All right, I understand the point, to give check on b8, or at least force me to play bishop e5, and after that I don't have the threat anymore. But rook b8 is not, it's not that much a threat, right? I could play maybe rook... Where would I put this rook now? Rook d8. Is that possible, or it's very bad? Oh, you have queen e5 then. Oh, I understand. You're mating me then. Oh, okay. Good point. So Queen takes b1. It's an option, right, for black. If I'm not mistaken, this is the same trick again, right? So this doesn't work, I think. Oh, everybody's writing queen takes b1 in the chat. Nice. Except we keep the pawn. Yeah, even better. So good idea, but not so good in practice, no, because black has this trick. So it's understandable that Korobov probably thought that, okay, I'll put my king on h2 and I avoid all this stuff. And then he ran into another issue with queen g3. Right. So Amazon says, why not queen e8 and queen takes c6? Okay, but you win a pawn. That's probably not so important in this position, is it? All right, what would black play here? Rook f5 maybe. Does that make sense to put the rook here? I think I'm threatening to play rook f1. Or am I missing something? Not so clear, right? Not so clear. Or anyone... white is whining or white is winning? one of the two, right? I think black is okay in this position. Yeah. Well, who knows? Queen h6. Oh, am I lost now? Isn't this a draw somehow? No. You're mating me. Oh, I see. Oof. Tough case. Maybe queen d7 then. But then I'm hanging the bishop, right? Perpetual. I don't see the perpetual if I play king h2. Where is the perpetual? There is no perpetual, is there? Correct me if I'm wrong, but there is now a nasty mating threat for white. So I don't think that works really. So queen e8 and queen takes c6, I guess this makes a lot of sense. Yeah, you're probably right. You managed to improve your queen. What about queen g3, by the way? Is this a move, maybe? Queen g3? Or am I hanging something now? Probably I'm hanging something, yeah. Also, this is no threat because you can play king h1. So queen e6 and... yeah, this does not make sense, right? You could perhaps even take on... yeah, even take here. I wanted to take on e1 and so on, but... yeah, queen takes e4, even that is possible, right? So I guess you're right. Yeah, that is one good option for white, and queen e8. And just take on c6. Not so much for the pawn, but in order to create more threats against the king. So probably this was a way in which white should win this game. I mean, after all, they have this fantastic bishop, and there should be something. Yeah, I agree. The solution that I was looking at was this one. I thought this was simpler, to play queen g4. I think this was a smarter move, because also I'm threatening now to play rook d1, if I'm not mistaken. And I want to swap, and I want to take. But okay, I'm not saying it's better than your variation. So yeah, this was my supposed solution. And queen d2, this was a funny variation. I don't know how interesting is this. Oh, it seems my connection collapsed. Let me add this again. Okay, we don't have to go so much into details. Maybe, yeah, this was the position. So if you play queen e8 and you pick up the pawn, that's great. If you play queen g4, that's another good move to activate this rook also. You could even give the check first and then play queen g4 with the same idea of playing rook d1. However, what we should not play is king h2, what happened in the game, because in that case, black has this nice little defensive trick, queen g3, in order to swap the queens. And that's exactly what happened in the game. All right, let's move on. Let's have a look at something completely different. Let me show you something about tactical surprises in the opening also. So here we have one example. If you are well acquainted with opening theory, you can probably guess in which variation do we reach this position. Okay, I'll tell you. This is from the Slav with g6. The Chinese variation, I think they call this. Black is very often giving up this pawn in order to create counterplay on the queen side. So if bishop takes d5, for example, black can take and they can put the queen on b6, and then they'll try to bring the rooks to the open file and so on. They have a nice bishop and so on. However, there is a little tactical surprise which will give white an advantage here. So white to play and try to find a surprising way in which white can actually get an advantage in this position. Okay, I'll give you 1 minute 30. How to get an advantage with white using a little tactical trick. Yeah, the game was a draw, by the way, Guinea Pig. It was a draw. The game Korobov and Lagarde. All right, L008, you got it. That's correct. Interesting move by Eric, but you're opening up the long diagonal. I think that's dangerous, no? So Guinea Pig, Amazon, and Wu chess. I think your move is okay also. Is it? Yeah, probably, yeah. HDI chess, you also got it. Nice. Strategic Simmer, I'm afraid you saw something, but you didn't see all of it. So there is more to this, but somehow you're on the right track. Okay, I see small crab, no problem. Let's listen to HDI chess. Which is white's best move here, HDI chess? E4. You know what's funny? If you check the database, you will find many games here. People play either bishop takes d5 or bishop e3. However, the engine, its first choice here is e4 because it saw something that the humans didn't see back then. So if I take the pawn, HDI chess, exactly. That's the key move. Unfortunately, black cannot take with the rook because in that case, white takes with check and then they move their queen. And also we cannot take with the king, of course, because in that case, black is exposed to this check. And again, we pick up the queen, right? So they will have to play something like king h8. And here we just play queen b3. Right. I know this little variation from the French exchange. I don't know if I can bring this up, but okay, let's finish this one first. So if you just take on d5, like some people are saying, please notice that here, once you take back on d5, black has definite counterplay, right? Many games ended in a draw here in this position. The bishop is very strong. On the other hand, if we include e4 after queen b6, we can take. How would you take on d5? With the bishop or with the pawn? According to common sense, how would you take? With a pawn, exactly, because in that way we keep the bishop pair. So black doesn't get here in the other variation. I mean, here I can play bishop b3. Look for yourself. I would say white is a healthy pawn up here, right? White is a healthy pawn up. So that's the big difference. That's why this move is so strong. It gives white more options. So yeah, to make a passer also. That's right. So what did you say? Somebody said something here. Oh, so some people are saying rook takes d8. Yeah, I think that's okay also. Pawn takes, you take on a8, I suppose. And you have this endgame to play. You're a pawn up. I mean, it's not the prettiest of pawns, but you're a pawn up and bishop pair open position. Yeah, this should be great winning chances for white. So that's another good way to play. I don't know if we're missing anything, but e4, very strong move. They cannot take with the knight, of course. In that case, there are multiple threats here. Black cannot play like that. Exactly. Bishop pair, extra pawn versus bad structure. So, funny discovery, no? That shows that if you just turn on the engine in the opening preparation, you can find some very surprising moves, like this move e4. I remember this pattern from I don't know if somebody could help me to bring this up. I remember it from the French exchange variation. I don't know if you're aware. There must be somebody who is an expert on this, right? Around here. Let's see if you can help me on this one. Something like when you play c5, might it be something like this? They take. Let's say black had played c6 at some point. Okay, I'll see if I can make this work. You play. When do they take on c5? It's probably not here, right? No, it cannot be here. Why does this happen? Oh, the bishop is on d6. Yeah. I understand. The bishop should be on d6 then. All right. Sorry, please be a little patient with me here. I don't seem to understand this 100%. I think it's something like this. So if they play c5, or the bishop is already on, is the bishop already on g6? I think the bishop should already be on g6, right? But it would almost work here, right? Bishop g4. Sorry that I'm losing track of this. I think I got it. No, I think this is the way it starts. So you play something like you take. Yeah, this is the one, right? This is the one. And you take on f7. I think there is a variation like that, if I'm not mistaken. So black cannot take with the rook because they're hanging their queen. And if they take with the king, you play queen b3 and you have a very strong attack. Correct me if I'm wrong, but this looks promising, right, for white? Rook e1, bishop there, rook here, maybe takes the... Oh, white wins the queen, really? You have amazing calculation, Titan Chess. How do you win the queen? I can give you the pawn if you like. I don't know how you win the queen, but I just thought it was interesting to see this connection with this opening trap. Aha, yeah, thanks, Tori Chess. Yeah, see you next time. So rook e1 must be very strong. Yeah, I have to go back with the bishop, and yeah, my position is a disaster here. So many white pieces in the attack. I will never survive here, I'm afraid, in this position. You just have to, exactly, you just bring the pieces to the party. Okay, bishop f4 is good as well. Aha. So knight b5 was yeah, that's another nice resource for white. So yeah, safe to say, it's good to know about these tricks. No, it's good to know about these tricks in the opening with black. If you end up in this position, don't play c5, please. Play something else, like I don't know, knight e7 or something like that. But c5, don't play it. And if you're unfortunate to play like this, then definitely don't take on f7. Just play king h7 and try to survive with a pawn down, although it will not be so easy. All right, guys, let's see a few more examples in the opening. I have another example from the opening play. Let's see if we can bring this up. This is the... All right, so who can see what this is about? Who can identify which opening is this? When do you have this kind of structure against that structure? In which opening? And you don't have a bishop. Exactly, Guinea Pig, Titan Chess. Yeah, you have good opening knowledge, right? This is the famous Budapest Gambit. So let me tell you that in this game between Bluebaum and Moranda, two strong grandmasters from Germany and Poland, white has just played the move knight b3. And it's rather obvious what... oh, you played this Titan Chess with black. Okay, great. So knight b3 was just played. It's easy to understand white's intentions. They would like to play here the move a3, right? I'm asking you for the best way to continue here. Please notice, this time you won't win material or anything. We're just using the tactical ideas for strategical means, okay? Black to play, try to find a very surprising way in which you can keep the balance here and even have a slight advantage. So 1 minute 30, black to play and keep the balance. Okay, Titan Chess, you made it in 8 seconds. That's incredible. You must be an expert on Titan Chess, on the Budapest Gambit. Wow, that's very impressive. I get the point, Eric. I'll probably just play a3 anyway against your move. Oh, that's a surprising move by Guinea Pig, Adi Chess, and Strategic Simmer. Yeah, I guess you can play like that also. I retreat that bishop. But then you can't castle short, can you? All right, so we have two winners, Titan Chess and Amazin. While HDI Chess, you were also very close. Medina Tiger, you're also very close. However, I think in that position, white will still be slightly better. So we have only two winners here so far. Aha. Interesting move by Santos also. Right. Okay, so this one was not so simple. We have two winners. It's about making very surprising moves. Very surprising moves. A lot of people want to play g5 here. Okay, I know that g5... Okay, time's up. I know g5 from some other variation. But g5, I'll play bishop g3. I'm not convinced about this situation because... For starters, h5, I can probably take the pawn, right? And your king is starting to look uncomfortable on e8. And finally, I don't know, maybe you have some issue with the f5 square. Oh, h5 and g4, I see. Smart move. I understand, but maybe now I can... everybody understands, right? This guy is pinned, and if I take, they'll take, and mate is coming up. But I guess I can play a3 here, right? I'll play a3. You can have this bishop if you like. If you play now bishop c5, I guess I can do something against this piece, right? I hope so, at least. Or maybe I can't actually. Oh, yeah, you're right. Titan chess. Yeah, we're getting closer to the solution. Okay, I see. I'm in trouble here probably. I'm lost in this position. That's amazing, but it seems to be true. Unless somebody can see something, but I can't see anything. So maybe you're right. You can play h5 there with white, but with black. Okay, I'll play a3 instead. I'll play a3. So you have to play bishop c5. I guess I'll take. I'll put my queen on h5. Sorry, on d5 maybe. Or do I play f4? Many moves come to mind here. But queen d5 looks like a nice centralizing move, right? Because I'm vacating the d1 square, and I might be able to go f4 at some point. Yeah, I don't believe in this for black. I'll play just rook d1, I think. I think black is almost collapsing here. You saw this funny variation, right? I can take, and I can give this check if I'm not... Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think I can give this check here, right? Take, can give check, and I'll pick up the queen, right? So yeah, I don't believe in g5. I'm sorry. I think it's too aggressive in this position. So what else? Let's see what else you had to say here. h5 was proposed also, but I mean, I'm about to play a3 and destroy black's pawn structure. So yeah, you got it, Titan Chess. So Amazin, you didn't move the pieces today. Amazin, please go ahead. You can move the black pieces. How is your solution? So a4 first. Now if they play knight e4, our bishop is saved. No, we can put it on c5 whenever we like, or we can play maybe a3 also. I don't know. So the critical move must be a3. And here the Polish grandmaster found a very surprising move. Bishop c3. That's not an easy move to see. However, what he has noticed is that if white takes the pawn here, I mean, take on c3 and take on b3, he's a pawn up, but horrible structure. Black has a fantastic structure, and I was amazed that Stockfish would actually give black an advantage here, but it gives black a solid advantage in this position. It wants to put the knight on c5, simply castle away. I think something like b6 and bishop b7. Incredible, no? Pawn down, the opponent has a bishop pair, but this knight is so strong that black will have no issues whatsoever in this position. So very surprising solution, a4, a3, but we have to find the move bishop c3. Yeah, that's hard to see, this move. You have to understand something about strategy in order to play in that way. If you take instead on b3, you can of course do this, but white will probably be better here. I guess this pawn is still a bit exposed. No, maybe we can give check and so on. So very important to see this funny looking move. In the game, Grandmaster Bluebaum played instead the move queen c2, if I'm not mistaken. They play queen c2. So he didn't want to get into this kind of strategical inferiority. He played queen c2 and black just took on b2. And again, it's funny, no, that white didn't take the pawn. They saw that knight c5 would come. What do you think white played here, anyone? Strategical thinking, dynamic thinking. Exactly, c5. Yeah, don't take. That's too early. We want to keep the bishop there. So he played c5 in the game. Smart move, of course, to open up the game and so on. But black played bishop e6. That's another smart move. So he just defended his passed pawn. And I think actually black was slightly better in this position. But okay, it was a draw in the end. So interesting way of thinking, no? a4, so that after a3, we have this funny looking move, bishop c3. Yeah, the Budapest is not so bad. I agree with you. Let's have a look at an e4 opening also. Let's see a Najdorf. We saw some d4 openings now. Let's have a look at something from the Najdorf also. Yeah, this game is not so famous. Perhaps a game played, I think, in the Philippines. Bersamina with white, Kison with black. You're playing with the black pieces here. Typical Najdorf situation. White lost the bishop pair, but they took with d3, c takes d3, and they got a stable pawn structure, and they have some space advantage on the king side. However, black found a very nice way in which they could neutralize white's advantage. And their solution includes a really surprising move, All right, I'll give you this one, 1 minute 30. The second move is really surprising. That's my hint to you. Okay, that's my little hint. All right, here we go. 1 minute 30. Okay, if you play like that, Adi Chess, I guess that knight is very strong. Yeah, I think you should keep that knight. I'll just play rook d1. And yeah, I think white will be slightly better in that play. Okay, Wu Chess, you got it so quickly. Impressive. Okay, HDI Chess, you also got it. Great work. Some people are saying g6, interesting idea, but you're helping me, I think, opening up the H file, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, interesting. Okay, so Guinea Pig and Chess Samurai, that's not bad at all. I'll play knight c3 against that variation, but it's fine. It's fine. You're on the right track. So a lot of people found the first move. It's a typical Sicilian move, of course, but few people found the second move. Only Wu Chess and HDI Chess. So, all right, we will look into that Titan Chess. Let's listen to HDI Chess first, just to see how to continue with black, the supposed solution. So d5, the typical Sicilian break. This is something you have to know about if you play the Sicilian. And here we have the surprise move. That's not typical, right? To put the queen there. But it's very strong. It's a very strong move because we're not only hitting the pawn, we're also hitting the knight. So if pawn takes, in this kind of position, black is okay. Black has the bishop pair. Now the position is open, and we're also attacking the pawn on d3. So if you said instead here castles or rook d8, I will understand you, of course. It makes a lot of sense to attack the pawn. But here I can play knight c3. So please notice the difference if you play queen e6. There is no knight c3 because we're hanging the knight. So that's why I think it's stronger to play queen e6. Anyway, not to make this too confusing, but you could actually play castles, and after knight c3, if I'm not mistaken, you can still play queen e6. This is still possible. Weird variation, no? I don't know exactly what's going on, but I think perhaps black is better here in this position. It's not easy to say, but that's a possible choice also. So yeah, knight b3, some people said, but okay, I'll play rook d1, and if you want to take this bishop, yeah, go for it. I have no issues. I'll try to plant a knight on d5 later on. That's my main plan here. Some people were saying g6. What was that sacrifice? Pawn takes, pawn takes. Somebody said something about the sacrifice. Exchange sack. Where is the exchange sack? Oh, you want to take with a pawn? Okay, but that's probably too ambitious, no? I don't know. You want to play like that? Yeah, maybe. I mean, the Sicilian is full of exchange sacrifices, but I don't know if this is a good occasion for it. Maybe I can just bring in the knight. I'll just play in the same way. Try to put the knight on d5. Is that so? Or do you have some trick like queen g1? Maybe. Yeah, half a point if you said this. But I think it's more clear-cut what they played in the game. So, yeah, d5, pawn takes, and here we have our surprise move, queen e6. Very clever move in this way. If they play, by the way, knight e3, I think that's what they played in the game. Here we can play castles. And, oh, sorry, little mistake here. If they play knight e3, we take the pawn, and then we castle, I think. Yeah, something like this. So no matter what happens here, it seems black is having the initiative. There is a move like e4 coming up also. Please notice this nice little motif working on the pin along the long diagonal. All right, let's see one more example from the Slav defense, okay? Maybe this will be our last example today. I think so, yeah. We will finish off with this example. We are playing the Slav. You can see semi-Slav. It's a theoretical position in this game between Ranaldi and Basso. Black hurry to play here the move e5. Maybe you saw in the Tata Steel, Carlsen had a game like that. He played the setup with c5 instead, making a draw against Yesipenko in round 1. So this is also a possible setup, no, with c5. However, e5 is the most topical choice right now. I think White's best choice here is to take the pawn on e5 and play knight e4 and try to play knight f5. If I'm not mistaken, Svidler had played this with the white pieces. However, let's presume that White takes on d5 instead. This, on the other hand, is extremely dangerous. This is extremely dangerous. So let's see if you can find the whole variation here. Black to play and win, okay? Black to play and win. This is already well known by theory. There will be a surprising move further away in this variation. Let's see if you can find it. All right. Long variation and very pretty variation to win this with black. In total, you have to make like 10 moves with black here. But you will be rewarded if you make it. So 2 minutes. Let's see if you can find the whole sequence here. The first moves should be rather simple, but then it becomes more difficult, okay? Yeah, if you play like that, Santos, I can... Okay, right, Santos, that you're very close then. Please notice that we're not interested in a draw here. We want to win the game with black, okay? If you play like that, Santos, HDI Chess, Hacker Guru, Subham, I will play King G3. Charles Hua, Small Crab, Classy Knight moves. I'll play King G3. And I'll try to escape with my king along F3, E2, okay? Quokkin, Adi Chess, there is a misunderstanding. If you play like that, there won't be any tactics, no? That's just normal chess. We're looking for something more drastical, okay? Guinea Pig and Strategic Simmer, I will play Knight E5 against you. I'll swap pieces there. Give back the pawn to save my skin. All right. So who is closest so far? Yeah, Santos, HDI Chess, Hacker Guru, Subham, Charles Hua, Small Crab, Classy Knight moves. Okay, we will do this in 2 parts. Titan Chess, you're the closest one. I see. You're very, very close. And Chess Samurai, you're almost there also. Okay. We'll do 1 part of this, okay? We'll do 1 part and then we will bring on the next part. Because I think it was very difficult. Pikachu, you're extremely close. You're extremely close. If you use that move later, you will win the game, okay? So, winner on this one, Pikachu, who got to move 5. Also, Titan Chess got to move 5. Let's listen to Pikachu. Yeah, we'll do it again, but we will have the first part explained by Pikachu. Please go ahead, Pikachu. How do you continue here? Exactly, e4. You can see that the Greek gift is already in the air. Bishop takes h2. If we play anything normal, like pawn takes, white can just take, or I don't know if they can play knight b5 maybe. But yeah, this is not as promising as the other variation. Well, I don't know, but maybe you can take and play g3 or something like that. Put the bishop on g2 and so on. So e4 must be the move, right? e4. After pawn takes, don't take on c6. I think in this case, I can probably just play something like knight e5. That would be my main reaction here. Just take and play g3, and I think white is okay. It's like some kind of Sicilian Arapin with reversed colors. I think white is fine in this position. Put the bishop on g2, and I mean, they have some counterplay also on the d file and the long diagonal. All right, so please go ahead, Pikachu. Please go ahead. Exactly. Now, since we have this pawn on the board, the Greek gift becomes much more interesting, no? Exactly. So king takes. And what did people say here? Yeah, that's an important move. If you play knight g4, I will play king g3. I'm about to take the pawn and escape to e2. All right? Please don't post anything in the... Yeah, we'll do the quiz now. Don't write anything else in the chat, okay? You already know the next move. You know the next move because Pikachu told you. Yeah, Pikachu, I'll take away your pawn now because I don't want you to move anymore. So I'll play my next move here, king h3, all right? Now it's your move. How did black win this game in very pretty fashion? Actually, they just had to repeat what had been already played in some other year. All right, don't write it in the chat, please. Don't ruin the fun for everyone else. You get 1 minute 30. Finish off white, please. And there is a very surprising move in this variation. You can guess who found it, right? Black will win this game, but only if you use your pieces in an extremely unexpected way. You can make a draw. It's easy to make a draw here, giving checks. But if you want to win, you have to make... Okay, Eric, you were very close. You found the right move, but you didn't play right in the next move. So Eric is closest so far. The only student who found the right move is Eric so far. Yeah, this was difficult. So if you give the check, I think it's just a draw, right? I'll play king g3. If you give queen e6 check, I'll play king g3, and I think it's just a draw. Amazon, you got it. Okay, great work. Only winner. Only Amazon and Eric found the surprising move by black in this game. Please remember, it's a well-known theoretical variation. It's not the first time that this was played. Actually, this was easy day at the office for Grandmaster Basso. He just had to repeat what has been played in the previous game. All right, time's up. So, Amazon, go for it. How do you continue with black here? Well, if that's not surprising, tell me what is a surprising move for you. Rook e5. Black is sending the rook to give mate, and after pawn takes e5, we just have to see the little intermediate move, queen e6. So here, Eric, you were saying queen takes e5, but then you lose a very important tempo. So I guess I can play something like pawn takes, and I'm probably able to defend this with white. However, back to Amazon, queen e6 check, so that we pick up this pawn with our queen, giving check. White has to play something like king h2. I don't know where I put my king. Okay, I put it on d3 then. Right. So now if I take, for example, you will mate me in the end, right? I think we got it wrong, Amazon. I think we messed it up. I'm sorry. I confused you here because it wasn't like that, right? If you continue with this stuff, I'll just bring out my bishop and I think white wins. Yeah, so this is not the right solution. Right. Don't do that. Don't do that. Yeah, don't take the pawn, I think. Did we miss something? What was that, a mate? Yeah, exactly. Queen g4, exactly. That's the mate, right? That's the mate. Please go ahead, Amazon. Right. So it's actually important to keep this pawn. I think that's the pawn which makes the big difference, right? Because after all, without this pawn, we wouldn't give mate. So that's what happened in the game. White resigned. What a surprising move, no? What a surprising move. So I think somebody turned on their engine and the engine gave this move to them. Just like this e4 move that we looked at in the Slav, in that gambit, right? So very, very surprising. It appeared as if this would be a draw. However, by this extremely surprising move, black is able to bring in the queen and mate white. No? Just like Amazon showed to us, queen e6 check after king. What else is there? King h2. What would happen if king h2? Exactly. Now we have another mating pattern, right? Now it's different. Our queen didn't make it to h4, but we can play in this way instead. And black, despite being a piece and a rook and some pawns down, well, not so many pawns, but passed pawn, black is mating here. And I think the hero of this movie is the pawn on f3, right? Without that pawn, it would never be mate. White would just play something like bishop g2. So yeah, that's about surprising moves. Many of these surprising moves, they are found by the computer, you can say safely. Now, please notice also that king goes back. It's not an option. So they had to play. This is also not an option for the same reason. They had to play king h3. And here we had a very nice move, rook e5. All right, guys, that's it for today. Thanks a lot for watching, or for staying tuned here in this USCS session, ChessDojo, Chessable, and so on. Thanks, and see you next time.